Retired Handyman, where we teach you how to become more self-sufficient and save coin for your treasure chest. If you dig what we're doing, hit that subscribe button down below and join our crew. And if you hit that ship's notification bell, you'll be notified every time a new tip comes out. Now today what we're going to talk about is replacing an outlet. And this electrical outlet had gone bad, and let me show you what happened. Somebody touched the outlet. No. So we smelled something and walked around the room, and it smelled like something burning, like plastic burning, and touched this outlet, and this outlet was warm. So we went out, turned off the circuit breaker, a 15 amp circuit breaker, turned it off, verified that there was no juice coming to the outlet, and then took it off. Now let me show you some things here that you probably need to see. Okay, so you want to make sure that that you got the right circuit off. So you can use something like this. What this will do is tell you not only if there's current going to it, but it'll tell you if you've got it wired correctly. There's a little legend on here that tells you, depending on the lights that are lit. If you don't have that, you can just use like a lamp, and I would test each outlet to make sure. Now, one thing I do want to say here, if you're not comfortable doing this, and usually only get comfortable by doing it with somebody else a few times before, if you're not comfortable doing it, by all means, please call a licensed electrician. This is something that can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So if you don't feel comfortable, turn this off. Bye. But if you do feel comfortable, let's go ahead. Now, one of the things that we just figured out is it was arcing back here, and you can see the burn marks, and that can lead to a fire. And what caused these burn marks? We can see there's a lot of dust. So it was real dirty inside here. Probably hadn't had this off in several years. You can see the different layers of paint. So what we've done is verified that this is a 15 amp 125 volt outlet. So we went and we purchased a new one. So we've got this laid out the way it came off. So we're going to put it back on. Now, one thing we want to make sure we do is we want to have enough insulation on the wire that the insulation does not extend back behind here, because we don't want any bare wire beyond this. So we may have to do a little bit of trimming, but let's give this a try. Okay, so this is the exact same way we took it off. We have a white and a black wire on the top, and a white and a black wire on the bottom, and then this bare wire is our ground wire. As we come on here, we can see the green screw. This is going to be for the ground wire. Then we have brass screws that are going to be for the hot side, and then just regular screws for the other side. So I'm going to look at where we had to trim this back, where the insulation had melted from the arcing. So as we said, we want it to be just right behind here. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to bend it around the screw, and you see I've got a whole lot left over here. So I'm going to take my wire cutters that are inside my needle nose pliers, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut that off. Again, I'll say the reason that you don't want to have a whole lot hanging out is you don't want something else getting in there and touching it and possibly shorting it out again. So I'm going to attach my ground screw down here first. And what I want to do is bend this into a U shape so it goes around the screw, and then take it and pinch it closed, because that's going to give us a better connection, and there's going to be less chance of it coming loose. So now we'll start with the bottom. We're going to do the same thing here. Bend it around the screw. Pinch it closed. And then tighten the screw. Moving to the other side, we can do the same thing. We're putting it back the exact way because the reason that you want to make sure it's correct is the current is coming in and then going out to another outlet. And if you do it backwards or get it crossed, it's a big fire hazard, and it's an electrocution hazard also. All right, now before we put all of this back together, what we're going to do is plug this in and then have somebody go turn on the circuit breaker, and we'll see if this all came out correctly. If it sparks or something like that, I can yell at them and have them turn it off real quickly, just in case we didn't get something right. Ready? All right, you can see now it's on, and these two lights mean we've got it wired correctly. If it was wired incorrectly, the red light would be on, and then maybe one of these lights, and that would tell us that we had to switch something. Now, I'm not going to touch this because I've got live wires, so I'm going to have the person that's helping me turn this back off so we can put everything back together. Okay, turn it off. All right. And so now we've got it put back in the way it should be. We're just going to carefully push the wires back in. So now we've lined up the screws, and we're just going to screw these back into the outlet or the receptacle. All right, so we've got it all back together. We've just turned the breaker back on. I've got my person out there in case something happens. So we're going to plug it in. Bottom one looks fine. Plug it in the top. The top one looks fine. So there we go. That's how you replace an electrical socket. Thanks for joining us here on the Pirate Handyman. Hope you dig what we're doing. Hit that subscription button down below to join our crew, and if you hit that ship's notification bell, you will be notified every time a new tip comes out. Here's to smooth sailing.